Alright. It's 7. I think all of the sound is good. The stream's all set up. We got the screen looking good. Post a link to my stream, I guess. I'll just jump to the present. Why don't have see if that works actually. Twitch.tv/JuCoHi. I think that's right. Nice. Let's just wait for some people to get in the chat before we do anything crazy. These all organized by tier? Yeah, awesome. Let's see.
Alright, I'm here. I picked the worst time to start listening to a 20-minute song.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I paused it. Alright, I'm gonna stream real quick. I think I followed you.
Maybe. I don't stream a lot, so maybe.
I remember I was... Oh, when you're playing a group of Trank people, I think it was like Cool Sam and a couple others. I think I like got into the game after you guys got off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like when we were like when you were intentionally trying to stream snipe each other. which by the way, I wish I could have been there for. I love running to people in Trank and Comp.
Yeah. No, I love it. We ran into I think it was like 30 minutes before our game with them. We ran into the entire team of Commit, and we're like, oh my! It was really funny because it was like a precursor to the game.
Yeah, no, I think when I was back when I was on Alta 4 last season. Well, I forget what game it was, but we were warming up and Quake Play ran into like the entirety of Gravity.
Oh, word.
Oh yeah, no, we were at the Spanish Inquisition. For the record, we won that.
Nice. Alright, so I have everything ready to go on my end. I have like a Word doc of stuff that we can go over, but the first thing, which kind of sparked everything, was like the power ranking discussion I had with Yeti. So I was gonna take this first part of the stream as an opportunity for us three and anyone else who wanted to join the public chat or people that would join in the stream chat, to just talk about it.
I'll take care of this real quick.
Oh, nice.
Alright, so Eclipse, triple S tier, everyone else F tier. Alright. Easy? Alright. Yeah.
No, yeah. The issues that I brought up was, so power ranking, I'm the power ranker for Prodigious, and, it felt really impersonal. Like, you just, like, click a button, boom. Someone's entire team is decided by a number, and it just didn't feel like my feelings were really expressed too much through that button press. So I wanted to use this as an opportunity for everyone to get a closer look into why some players think that other teams are doing better than you'd say or worse than you'd say, and then we could all come to a decision on what we actually our place in our teams. So I think this would be cool. Obviously, like, it's only going to be us three today or anybody else that wants to join the chat. but in the future we could potentially do like interviews, which is something we were bringing up, to like give teams a chance to explain maybe not all their picks, but at least like, hey, I think this team is doing really well this week. Let's give them a shout out. And it could be their team, it could be another team. It's like that's why I put them in spot number 7 or spot number 3 or something like that. But first and foremost, we'll discuss obviously the top 10 in each tier. I have the tier list like maker link for the Overwatch Tranquility up on my screen right now, which is everyone's seeing on stream. So we can make that right now. So we'll start in Harmony tier because that tier for me is a little like I think it's harder. I think the top 10 is way harder.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually really haven't watched too much Harmony games, so like I can't. I'm not gonna be the greatest judge. So,
Jen, you're in Harmony, aren't you? You're on DDoS.
Yeah. No, I'm with Pythons.
Oh, okay, word. I forget who was with DDoS. Maybe it was Rocker that we were talking to. No, that's
yeah.
Otaku.
No, Rocker was Otaku.
I forget.
Your
I tried.
teammate, I think, is from DDoS.
We'll see. Well, anyway, so you're from Pythons. So your point of view is going to be really interesting. I'm really excited. I have some takes about your team that we can dish out later. So let's start with number 1, 2, 3. We'll go down the list from there. We'll start at 10. My number 1 pick is Vitamin C. It's not
Agreed.
Maelstrom. Okay, you agree?
I'll agree with that because I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. A couple players of Vitamin C, and I believe from a Lonely Minecraft Survival with Yeti. You can just shout that out real quick. And I believe they're saying they beat Maelstrom. So, yeah, I have to agree with that. I'm putting Maelstrom at 2.
Nice. Yeah,
so.
I probably would also put them at 2, but to give this time to Vitamin C, because I think that's like a lot of what I want from this.
Oh, yeah.
I think the reason I say that Vitamin C are number 1 is like, so we started the preseason and the first part of the season in the old meta, like the 3-3 meta. And like they did awesome. They were great. They're like second only to like Careless Pandas. And even after that switch, it seemed like their team had enough like either previous meta knowledge or depth as players to be able to like be acclimated to that meta shift and potentially any meta shift that comes from here. So that's why like I love watching them. I'm completely candid. I've talked to like Sushi, Capital. He's super cool, one of like my better friends in Overwatch and in this community. So like they're super fun, and the way that they go about their games is like really intoxicating to watch, and I think that is like goes to show that they're like a team that's having enough fun with whatever meta they're in or however they play the game, to the point where like I think they're kind of like meta proof, which is like super good when you're at that level of play.
Yeah.
So,
I think they've just been, like you said, extremely consistent across pretty much anything they play, where to the point where they can almost just play for fun, and you really see that in their play. They're relaxed, they're comfortable on their roles, and they just work as one unit.
absolutely. So we all agree that, at least to a degree, which is nice. So number 2, do we put Maelstrom there? Is there any like hot takes that we want to dish out that potentially Maelstrom could get upset by, say like Karma or like Illusion or like another team that's up there in that like top tier-ish?
See, I'm all for hot takes, but I literally know nothing about enough about Harmony tier to really make anything. So I really can't say anything. But from what I've seen, I believe Maelstrom was undefeated until this last Wednesday. So I think I have to put him there.
That's fair. Welcome, Juke, by the way. I see you're in the chat. Juke,
hello. I also don't know anything about Harmony tier, so.
Great, we have 3 Discord players and an educated Python. Let's go.
Okay.
Jen's got this.
Yeah, no, Jen's gonna hard carry this first part.
Yeah, but literally don't say anything wrong or you're gone.
I do want to. I still want to like put a pin in the fact that I have so many questions for you because like your team is very intriguing. So
yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, Juke is we're currently engaged. We're a couple. So any shots fired at me is shots fired at Juke.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Juke is a feeder, so.
Their attitude is their biggest issues. This was my issue with the power ranking. Oh yeah, Pyro brings up a great point. Yeah, it's like there's not enough representation, which is something I'm trying to fix.
Whoa,
I want more.
Well, if you're talking about on the podcast, it's like all Harmony people now that Specs is gone.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's all Harmony.
which is awesome. I think that's like, I think the duality of that is really like good to have like a Discord centric talk like we are right now, and like a Harmony centric talk like the podcast had. But obviously integrating it into like 2-2 for both tier representation, or just like have a couple friends that you have watching the league that have them talk about all
Community.
games, like or just community members. Yeah. Oh wait, I get what you're saying. Yeah, community. But yeah, I have a couple friends that watch all the community matches and stuff like that just don't even play Overwatch. They don't like care about my team or anything like that. They just like, I told them to start watching it just to give me like that outside point of view in their spare time, and they've taken to it really well. They're like, they have their favorites, they have their least favorites, they have their opinions on everybody, which is really cool. So yeah, having someone like that be able to like go on like the podcast or like this kind of thing would be really cool, just to get like completely outside opinions. But yeah, so I also can't contest that Maelstrom is second. But the problem that I have with Maelstrom it being in second for me is that like I have watched so little of them and have like noticed so little. Like they're a team that's under the radar, quietly doing super well, while like Commit is in like that same like spot for me. Like I don't see a lot of them like
Okay,
doing
hold on. I'm
anything.
gonna stop right there.
Awesome.
Did
Go
you
ahead.
just say commit or comment? Because there's a very big
Commit.
difference there.
Commit, like the team in Discord tier that's just quietly stomping everybody.
I don't think it's quiet.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think people are not noticing Maelstrom either.
No,
They are, but they-
not. Okay, I must have misspoke. Not noticing is not what I mean. I just mean like you have these big personalities on teams like Meteors or like Vitamin C and stuff like that, and they're in the community, they're talking all the time. But like, I don't see that kind of like following and that like team like reverberance through the Discord like with teams like Commit and Maelstrom. There isn't that like overwhelming community backing, unlike with like, at least what I've noticed, especially in Discord tiers, like Meteors. Meteors is the Overwatch tranquility like fandom. Like that's, if everyone had to like align themselves with the team, like Meteor seems to represent that. It's like that's all these good players from previous seasons. It's a bunch of big personalities and streamers. It's like they're the fan faves. But like Commit, hitting it home every time. Like our game against them, I was destroyed mentally. It was awesome. I'm very envious of that type of play. It's super cool. But like Maelstrom are in that similar boat where they're like, at least again, this is an opinion. They're just knocking teams out, and there's not like go Maelstrom in the chat every like day. It's just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the community's really taken to them. Maybe like a couple weeks from now it'll be like more prevalent that like everybody's on like the Maelstrom fan boat. But like Vitamin C and Careless Pandas in the preseason tournament and at the beginning of the season seem to have so much backing in comparison.
Yeah, but I think that was a little different. I think Careless Pandas was so dominant that it was on the same level as Commit as far as people like being behind them and like believing in what they can do. They've definitely dropped off a lot, but I don't think there's the same level of dominance from any one team in Harmony.
Wasn't someone on what was it, Careless Pandas the preseason smurfing? I can't remember, but I think that was something.
It was.
Yeah, no.
But that's a thing of the past. I'm like, that's not
that's a thing of the past. But I'm not gonna judge them by that now. I was just gonna throw it out there. But yeah, no, I will completely disagree with what you're talking about Commit sneaking around the Discord here, because I'm just gonna speak for Eclipse Team Chat. They scare me. Like, I think they scare a lot of people there. I personally don't think they're the best, but they still scare me crapless, especially after picking up Marv.
Marv's so scary, dude. I love him to death. I remember in the preseason tournament we played against Meteors and Marv played, and we're like, this is the best player in the league. This was super good player. Scary to see them on Commit. Commit was a really hard team to play. Got one map of them, and like that was a struggle. So like that's cool. But yeah, I think Smokes in the chat is saying it.
But I gotta leave.
Oh, Marv, hearts. I love
we
it.
appreciate you too, Marv.
Marv's the goat, absolute goat. Anyway, but yeah, I think since now I have nothing to contest their second place, I am forced to put them in. But like every team after these two could be thrown into a hat, mixed up, and thrown out again, and I'd be like, yeah, that's right. But I'm willing to talk about them, obviously. So does anyone have any contentions with Maelstrom being second, at least for now?
No.
I would agree. Just the only thing I want to say about it is the debate for second place is really between Karma and Maelstrom, but Karma's getting like you said, more backing, a bit more attention. But I would put them. They both have really nice, well-rounded rosters. But I would honestly, if we're jumping to third, I'd put Karma at third.
I think that's
I think I may put Illusion.
Yeah, see, I think that's for me. Is like this, like second, third, and fourth is Karma, Illusion, Maelstrom for me. Like personally, I think Maelstrom has the best roster of the three, and I want to put them in second so bad. But just like as Smugs has been saying in the chat, Maelstrom has had a fairly light schedule, so it's hard to see Maelstrom not being in second just because of the current record. Like we do have to. This is a power ranking. We do have to put into account of how well the players are doing, and Maelstrom has that in spades. Their team is doing well, while like Illusion and Karma are having these like games that are either close or potential like games they've lost and stuff like that. I have a team that I'm gonna shameless plug here is potentially gonna be in the Tranquility League next community next season in season 4 on the Harmony side, and we had a really nice scrim with Illusion and Nick. Awesome guy. Got to talk to him a little bit before the game and after. And Illusion just whooped our butts. Now, obviously, this is a team that I created like fairly recently, so like I didn't expect to get the dub. But like the way they dismantle teams that are like objectively worse than them is like crazy. Their knowledge of the game is really good. Their team play is really good, and I think when it comes down to a game against like Karma or Maelstrom, that triangle is just super volatile.
And player, I know he played support season 2, which I'm sorry, it was a mistake. He was the best main tank season 1. I will not contest. I will not. Oh my god, I will die on this hill. There is no debate. He was the best. I know we're talking the same season that had Dunzo in it. There was no competition. I don't know why he swapped the support. And to see him back going over to main tank, and I think it's an off tank. It's just without a question for me.
Yeah. Juke, you haven't said a lot about these three teams. How about here's some to you. What's up, Kingdom?
Hi, Cryptic is a bandwagon. Alright.
Okay, shut the hell up, Kingdom. Okay.
See, this is why I like. No, this is why I like the public chat. This is something that doesn't happen in the podcast. People come in, they dish, and they're out.
Everyone's cyberbullying me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I don't know too much about the Harmony tier. Like when I wasn't on a team and I was thinking I would have more time to do casting, I followed both tiers pretty close so that I would be able to give opinions on stuff. But now, like, man, I got no idea. I'm not a good person to ask about these things.
What's up, Trash?
Not much. I just saw what you guys are doing.
Nice. So yeah, I think in third, it's a pretty big contest. I don't mind going Karma because of how well that I think they have the potential to do, and I definitely have a bias towards Illusion. I think since they recently trashed me, they can definitely kick some butt. And Smugs brought up a good point. Like they seem to be a very ebb and flow kind of team. Like one day they're killing it, one day they're not. And Smug says, I know a lot about Harmony and all the players on most teams because I have to when I scout Karma as their coach. Oh, Smugs, I could use you. Definitely use your input.
Yeah, we need you. Like I don't know crap about Harmony tier.
Awesome.
Like where's overtime in the power rankings? Are they still around?
Overtime's currently in first. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the Lava Cats.
Yeah.
Lava Cats are like being slept on so hard in Discord tier. Like they're messing everyone up.
We're going against them next week, dude. I'm shaking my boots, quaking, dude.
Dude, we barely got the 4-0 off of. Like, any of you see Jurassic Park?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember in the very end where my T-Rex just came out of nowhere? Yeah, that's exactly what Frantic Lava Cats are gonna do next week. They're just gonna come out of nowhere, run the table, and make the playoffs, and just win it all.
4-0 commit. 4-0 commit.
Word.
Yeah, they're gonna 4-0. They're not gonna 4-0 commit. We're gonna 5-0 them.
Oh,
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not afraid, let's put all the teams in that top 10 tier, and then let's see who we take out first.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll do that right now.
That's a bit easier.
I already ordered them. The top 4 being Vitamin C, Maelstrom, Karma, Illusion. So
Okay.
like we'll see what happens from there. Obviously we have an infinite time to retcon that. But let's see what we got here. The potatoes, and the forgot spare change. There we go. Okay, think that's everybody, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what teams do we want to get rid of? Personally, I don't think Boop's there yet.
Let me
yeah.
actually pull up the
I-
records because I don't know who has what records.
I have it. I'm sorry. I gotta go Boop. Like right off the bat.
Yeah, Boop.
And they won their last
Okay,
one, didn't they?
They
This
did.
season?
They did just win a game.
Yes.
Who did
Yeah,
win
they
it?
did just win a game.
It's seven.
It's-
Hey,
it's
hey, only half the teams won last week. Boop was one of them.
That's
Who
yeah,
was
it's
the team they
absolutely
were
fair.
against?
Can't be overlooked at all. I think making light of that is something. I've always rated Boop like not bottom 3, and it started to like bite me in the butt for a while, but I still don't think that they're gonna end bottom 3.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like hate on
ones.
their improvement. I see you. I see they made some improvement. Weddle, I think he's been decent. I saw his highlight, obviously cherry pick. He got a 6K. So there's improvement being made. But
And-
I'm not ready to call them a top 10 team in Harmony yet.
Let's do this, and I hate to do it to you, Jen, while you're here.
I know it's coming. I know
Uh-oh.
it's coming.
Uh-oh.
Look, there have been so many rebuilds for pacified pythons.
I know.
Everybody is very confused what's going on with this team.
Yeah, take a shot every time Pacified
Somewhat
Python
of-
rebuild.
Do you want somewhat of an explanation? The best.
Yes,
I can
absolutely.
Yeah,
provide?
yes, we would love
I've
that.
yeah.
heard
Yes.
this story, but it's probably better for you to retell it.
So I actually don't know the whole story because I was part of one of the mid-season rebuilds. So I came onto the team about the middle of August. It's been a month or almost a month, and they quickly held a bunch of tryouts. We built a roster, went in against Minty Hippos, and got our. They swept the floor with us. But then our next game after that was our Sunday feature versus Karma, and in between those two games was another roster rebuild. But this one feels very different. It feels a lot more consistent. All of the players were quickly becoming close. We all trust each other. Then we went against Holy Jalapenos, lost 3-1. But we were like, yay, we
You
took a
guys-
map off of them.
You guys lost, what's his name, to Queen, right? I was watching your tryouts with him not that long ago. I was there with Unkempt.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah.
You lost him, right? I didn't actually.
I
I'm pretty
believe
sure it came
so.
up in roster transactions. That's unlucky. He seemed to be pretty decent. So. It's
Yeah,
really
they're-
unfortunate that people just kind of desert after losses sometimes.
Yeah, it's always tough.
Mm.
Because I mean, to give them credit though, like taking an L, especially when you're hyped up on like the vibes that are this league, it can hurt really hard.
Community.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially if you're
it's
very
amazing.
new to the team and all that. Maybe you found something that didn't work.
Yeah,
I mean, hell, I kind of left Instalock after that, second, third week? So
Yeah,
can't
it
really
was-
say much.
it's rough. I remember our first L in the real season was against Sugar Rush, and that hurt the team's morale really bad. We came into it, we were like high on our horse of like, yeah, we're not gonna drop a game. We're gonna be the at this current time the commit of this league. We're gonna do great.
Community.
Of the community. You're gonna have
Yeah.
you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
I'm gonna-
censor me.
Yeah, I'm gonna character every time.
And but yeah, and then we got our butts whooped by the Sugar Rush. I mean, it was 3-2, but still, it felt like a thorough whoop. And I was like, oh, cry every night. But we got over it. We learned from it, and the L's that we take are so much better than the dubs because you learn so much more.
Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
Yeah, y'all just get ready for the Eclipse Redemption arc. Dude,
I'm waiting for it, man. I'm waiting with bated breath.
we're gonna start.
If
We're gonna
Eclipse-
start this week.
If Eclipse were Saiyans, they would be such a high power level right now from constantly getting beat up.
I like Eclipse. I really
You guys
like
must be doing
Eclipse.
so much learning.
Yeah, we're just acquiring knowledge. So our gameplay is like with gravity, we kind of like I was downside, but looking at it looked like we sandbagged. So we sat there with our big brains, like, you know what? We're just gonna sandbag the first half of the season so we don't throw in playoffs.
Oh.
So-
Where do you work at? Where do you work out at the library?
Yeah, but no, I'm not gonna talk too much about it. The game was sold at 4. What could have went wrong for us, like compositional wise, just went wrong. Like I'm gonna say, I've said it before. The comp we've been practicing very hard in scrims. Juke had seen it. It worked really well for us. We thought it was gonna do really good. We go play it on F4. No one had been able to stop it. We go and they stopped it.
Rip.
It was
Yeah,
rough.
sometimes it just happens like that. It's so unlucky. You could just practice one comp and then you're like, oh well, we just got whooped. Unfortunate.
And we were down 2 players, so that's even worse.
To reel it back in,
Definitely.
because we have only taken out Boof and Pythons and we think we're done. Which, as many people
Okay.
would want to just do that, we can't.
Okay, you know what? I say we take out potatoes.
All right.
See, this is real quick though. This is the thing that I tell everybody about the podcast. Is like if you just get a bunch of people in and you start talking, you're gonna talk about like 4 teams, and it's been like an hour. Podcast over.
No, I totally. That's why I want to do these interview things where it's like it's structured. It's maybe like 1 team in. But this is this night is free form. This is just taking ideas, running with them, see what we can do, see what the potential is.
Can we get
On the idea of
prospects?
potatoes, I concur. My 3 teams that I want to take away right now are Comets, Potatoes, and Spare Change. So like I think that those 3 would be fine for me. But obviously, let's talk about it.
Okay,
I mean, I think Comets have gone through some changes.
Yeah, the changes are pretty good ones. They're looking kind of strong. They just
NPC is
need
a good ad, but like again, like I haven't seen it yet. I
they
have
haven't
to
gone
see it to
there.
believe it.
Sea legs, yeah.
Okay.
Because a change is still like hard. There are negatives to changes, which is like bring in a good player, get them acclimated. Because at least in this like context, like this community, that your synergy means everything. Like that's
Wait,
why
is
these teams
is
that have
that
been together
true?
for so long are
Oh
like
man,
so
we're in so
good.
much trouble.
Spare
I'm in
Change,
danger.
Undead, and Comets out. Okay, so yeah, Undead Batteries were also a potential out for me.
I'm a really
I'm
big
just
supporter of
gonna-
Undead Battery. I think as I said, I think we're gonna be a better reach out to this season. We've
Look-
had some really early troubles, like with leadership, but I think we're gonna bounce back under leadership. Empress is a former teammate of mine. I know he can be a good leader. I know he's a good player, and I know he's gonna lead this team to where it needs to be.
Y'all, Undead Battery has a winning record.
Yeah, no,
Taking them
they're
out of
going
the top
great.
10, that is rough.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
definitely think they're in there. I don't
Oh, yeah.
like to think that they'd be bottom 5, but I do recognize that they're on that teetering edge of being either like 9th, 10th, or 11th, 12th place. Like I get it. I understand that they're not the best yet. There's a lot of like issues that I'm seeing with some of the play, and obviously that's coming from like the Discord hardstock diamond mind of like, these plat players know nothing. So it's like,
yes, I concur as a fellow hardstock.
yeah, so like it's totally biased, but I think we can talk more about Undead versus Potatoes, but like they have 2 to 3/4 votes. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like Undead is rough to see at the point of like being consistent top tier, but like at the same time, I still don't think they're bottom, but I think they are in the talking part of it. So like we've seen resistance come from Comets and from Batteries, but what do you guys say to
Smugs,
Spare
let's stop
Change?
there. I agree with that, but I want to quickly address Smugs. That is not a fair argument, in my opinion. You're saying they had forfeits on their side that were originally losses. Yes, they were losses, but these are also against teams that were smurfing, I believe. I believe Overtime was doing it as well. So I don't feel like that's really fair to say. Like, of course a team of that elo is probably going to lose to a smurf. That's completely fair.
If I remember, wasn't at least I remember the overtime match was close, right? A little bit closer than.
I
Fearless Pandas.
I don't.
I don't remember. Was it like 4-0 on one side or the other?
Yeah,
I honestly don't remember.
I don't remember that match at all. I just remember like I will never hold a Careless Pandas loss before they got rid of their Smurf against any team, because that like honestly that team would have contended with most Discord teams. Like that was really above the level of output that should have been acceptable for that team, and it should have been caught sooner. I'm glad it was caught when it was, but that's a thing of the past.
Yeah, I
So-
100% agree.
With
but
Spare
yes.
Change,
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm okay with taking them out of the top 10 because their last game, I believe it was, they got 4-0'd by Boop, unless they had to forfeit. I don't know the circumstances around that.
I
But
believe it was an actual win.
I think
Yeah,
it was an actual.
That's
win.
that's
Alright.
why I also put Spare Change at bottom 5.
Yeah.
Same exact reason.
It's weird.
Not
'cause
to not to
didn't they go-
derail this whole thing. But is this a tier list, or is this supposed to be more of a community discussion?
This is what I have always wanted the power rankings to be. I'm not ranking them specifically in like tiers of like SA, all that stuff. I just want to have a clear cut what us think. I don't want anyone else to be represented who isn't like communicating today, because obviously their opinions are their own. I just want to have a slice of like each of the community each time I do this, so that we get individuals' opinions on how other teams are doing, and we can say from our perspective what it is. Because right now the power rankings are so not representative of anyone's feelings, because it's 30 opinions getting thrown into a vacuum, and then it's spit out what else, well, the commonalities between them, and like it just doesn't feel right. So that's why I wanted to do this, where
Yeah,
like,
there
we can
was a
literally
lot
talk
of
through our ideas and explain. Because this could potentially be like hot take, but at the same time I think we're explaining ourselves to the point where like if you have a, I wouldn't say an issue, but like want to iterate on our point, then like go for it, because we're super open right now. The comms are open. You can come in and talk about what you feel. The chat's
Okay.
open. Like I just wanted this to be a little bit more inclusive than just press one on whoever you think is winning, and then the rest, eh.
So this is like a very, very open call-in show.
Yep.
Okay.
Currently, but
Okay.
again, we're here to see what works and what doesn't.
We're still in alpha. We aren't even in beta.
Okay.
Replacing Marth. Step 1.
Step one.
Yeah, we're replacing Marth. We don't appreciate Marth. Marth's power rankings are gone.
I think replacing Marth is a good first step to any plan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. We love you, Marth.
Yeah, and yeah. So let's get back to it. I was a little unclear what the goal was, but I'm on board with that. So yeah. What are we doing here? Are we going from the bottom up for Harmony?
For Harmony, we're getting rid of the 5 that we don't think belong, and then we're gonna order the rest of them. We've already ordered the first 4, but then the rest are just gonna get ordered. We're trying to knock
gotta
people
drop
out.
2 more.
I know. The chat is like screaming batteries, but the cast is saying not so far. But
I think it's contention on batteries, because I think Smugs is right. Their record isn't looking great, like in general.
Mhm.
But
like you have to genuinely
compared to
think,
other
are the
teams
potatoes
too,
better?
like,
I feel like that's the really thing. I think Comets right now just can't quite get in yet, but it's really just, are the potatoes better than undead batteries? Because that's the fight for 10th, in my opinion.
You know what? I'm gonna come out here a bit spicy. I think maybe we'll take out DDoS.
Oh my.
Like, I'm looking at who they've played, and like, they've beaten some. I don't think they've really beaten any of the teams like we were like considering the top. Like they
4-0'd Comets, which are supposedly in the process of becoming a god level
Yeah.
team. They got 4-0'd by Illusion, which is rough.
in quote here, in the process. Not they are a top team. They got 3-1 by Maelstrom. You know what? I like DDoS. This is before, like, I know some players on my team, but I'm just going right for a spice here. I'm going for it. Feel free to hate me.
Almost beat, what was it, Jetpack Cats, which I would place top 5.
Yeah. Okay. So almost. I will give them credit almost, but I'm gonna say it's a bit spicy.
I think, yeah, all right, fair. I mean, you've made your point. I will not contest you on it any further.
yeah, and I think if
you're
we're
good.
doing the power rankings on current team and how
Yes.
they currently look, I think Comets is out like 100%.
Yeah.
Because you know, like
I would
What?
keep Comets in. Like, I get that, but I think Fighting Potatoes may be worse.
they've also gotten really close with some really good teams though. Like they take 2 maps off.
Maybe the
But I-
Taters and the Undead Batteries just aren't in the running for both of them. Aren't like I can get down with DDoS and Comets, because like Comets just aren't, and they need that big synergy moment, and then they'll get it. But until that happens, they're just not quite there. And DDoS, I mean, you made a good point, but like Jetpack Cats was close. They did take a map off of Maelstrom, which is hard. So like I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but like I think it's my inexperience with potatoes that just is like showing why I can't put them in top 10 personally, because like I don't know anything about that team.
I think the 2 you take out right now is batteries and Comets.
I agree
I
with
think
Comets.
batteries,
Batteries
yeah.
hard for me, but I'll
Yeah.
put
Yeah, I
Comets
think
up.
yeah, Comets I figure out, but I think it's DDoS. I think it may have to be DDoS.
DDoS.
Actually, no, we can't get. Well, honestly, out of potatoes and DDoS, I think you have to take out potatoes, because I think DDoS is better than the potatoes. And looking at their match schedule, have they played yet? No, they have not.
So you said DDoS is better than potatoes, but potatoes are still in. So that, in my opinion, makes DDoS.
yeah, no, I
free.
think that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I think you had to take out potatoes.
You know what? I'm gonna listen. I can't. DDoS has no leadership. Potatoes need more than a DPS line. Comments are rebuilding. Undead has too many mistakes. Oh man, Smugs is just giving us the best. Like on the team, you can see it all.
I
Scroll. Oh, word.
I still think Battery should stay in. I'm incredibly biased, and I don't, like I said, I don't really follow Harmony tier very much, so my opinion literally means nothing.
Smugs is
I'm
saying we
not
just take a top
biased.
8. I'm down.
Top 8.
I'm so down. Top 10 is like,
Yeah.
I don't mind conforming to top 8 because top 10 is so overdone. Yeah, we're getting rid of them.
The problem with keeping batteries is that I kind of agree with Smugs. They got 2 free wins, and then on top of that,
But they were against teams that were smurfing.
But on top of that, they got 4-0 by Maelstrom. They got 4-0 by Jetpack Cats. They had a close game with Boot, and then the Illusion game. I don't know what happened there. So they consistently underperformed against top tier teams, and they struggled to take on an even lower tier team, and then put up one good performance.
Yeah.
So
No,
I
I
don't
think-
know if I would even consider them to be in top 10 when they're even struggling against teams that we think are even lower than them. If they are a top 10 team, then they should be able to deal with those teams lower than them.
I think you're right. I think you make a great point. I think Undead, Batteries, Fighting Potatoes, DDoS, and Comets, I put into like a square of like, they all have a big fatal flaw that they're riddled with. And then Comets is the synergy. DDoS, a lot of people have said, is this leadership. I'm not in comms, so I'm not quite sure what it is, but I've noticed that there's a lot of underperformance issues. Fighting Potatoes are just like, they don't get kills to me. And then Undead, like you said, are just like not winning when they're supposed to. So I think they're all fairly equal, and that's what comes with being 10th. So yeah, I think Marf, thank you for being here. You definitely we're probably just gonna have to go with the top 10 until Smugs and you help us out.
I mean, trust me, I got experience in this. I've already done this thing like 3 times.
Oh, worm. But that's the top 8. So we've cut it down to top 8. So now we have to rank the bottom 4. So it's pandas, jalapenos, jetpack cats, hippos. For me, 5
There's-
has to be jetpack cats for me. I
Yeah.
think they're
There's just
awesome.
so many question marks for all of these teams for me.
I think I would go. Sorry, I cut you off. I'll let you go.
I feel like jalapenos have so much potential. I feel like pandas, they could return to form. I mean, they didn't lose that many players from smurfing, and I don't think the team was like held up by that. Hippos looked really good in the preseason, but they need to get their shit together as far as like compositions from what I saw. And then Jetpack Cats have really good leadership, but with Meltzcon especially, like I don't know if there's
And
the
Dimrun,
potential
or
performance.
Dimrun's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jetpack Cats are going to start to fall. I like Jetpack Cats, but I think they're going to fall because they've lost like what, their entire DPS line. That's rough because that's, as we've talked about, synergy is important. That's like brand new synergy between the entire DPS line gone. I do think Illusion is better than Karma. I know there's consistency issues, but I like I said, I don't watch Harmony that much. My opinion's useless, so take over grain of salt.
I think probably I would put Holy Jalapenos at 5, Minty Hippos at 6, then Careless Pandas at 7th, the Jetpack Cats at 8th.
Why are you
Recent
copying
game-
Smugs?
I agree with that.
That's
No,
what Smugs said
I'm
in
just
chat.
saying personally because
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
first of all, Careless Pandas, yeah, okay, they beat Maelstrom, but they lost Dim Ryan, and Dim Ryan popped the hell off that game. If you watched it, like Dim Ryan popped off.
I think
And
they're
then
an 8th because of that.
Also another team, Jetpack Cats. I think if this makes more sense, I think the loss of Melts to Jetpack Cats is worse for Jetpack Cats than Dim Ryan losing than Careless Pandas losing Dim Ryan.
I can agree with that.
The reason being is that Pandas, just their other players are good, and also their comm structure is insanely good. Like their comm structure is amazing, and I think that kind of carries more weight over the Jetpack Cats right now, because the Jetpack Cats right now are just in such a weird position since they lost Melts, that I think that just brings them down more because they don't have enough things actually established outside of just, hey, you know, they have a big DPS carry.
Yeah, and they do play Maelstrom this week, so it's going to be a rough game for them. It may show they play Careless Panda, so maybe we can see some improvement. But I'm not really sure how I feel.
I think I agree with Holy Jalapenos being in 5th. I think my thought about them is really, I think they're really good. I think Jetpack Cats are also really good, but I agree, Melts is probably going to be a big L. But I don't think I can put them in 8th. I don't think so. I think Careless Pandas, in my opinion, just look... they've been riddled with a lot more changes than Jetpack Cats and just have to keep playing catch up, and I think that's going to really hurt, especially with someone who's so in control of a team fight like Dim Ryan. Dim Ryan told the other team what they're allowed to do, and if they picked it up, then awesome, they took the team fight, but usually they didn't. Dim Ryan was really kicking butt on his role. Melt's obviously doing similar stuff, but like, I don't know.
I think Careless Pandas at 6, so I think Mid D Hippos stay the same at 7, I think Jetpack Cats at 8.
Okay. What do you guys think, Jen? Ju? Trash?
Loyal opinion, definitely.
I'm
at
okay with
5.
this.
Yeah,
Loyal
okay.
opinions at 5? Okay.
Definitely.
Look, I can provide like vague areas of a take, but as far as like specifics, like I really can't help you. I'm sorry.
That's why. That's okay. Yeah, no, you're good.
The real knowledge, the real big brain comes at the Discord tier.
Also, with Jetpack Cat's schedule, they kind of beat the teams that they were supposed to beat, and then lose to the teams that they were supposed to lose to. So, because they lost to Karma, they beat Holy Jalapenos when they weren't really hot yet. They had a close game with Fighting Potatoes. They just barely edged out the DDoS match. They took the 4-0 on Battery, and they lost to Spare Change. And the thing is like all those matches were with Melts. And I think taking an actual step back and looking at it, I think Jetpack Cats they're just gonna fall off without Melts, because Melts was kind of their anchor. Melts was a big part of like just someone that consistently did well for them and consistently provided help with comms and everything like that. And he was a consistent player for them. But now that they don't have that, you can start to see the flaws in every other role and how it's going to be really shaky for them. So I would not rate them above any other team that we have right now in this top 8.
All right. So putting it back to what you guys said at the beginning: Jalapenos, Hippos, Pandas, Jetpack Cats.
I still think I put Pandas above Hippos, but that's just me.
I probably would have before they lost Jim Ryan, and then.
Well, as Smokes is saying, I'm taking his word, they still have one of the best tank lines in Harmony. If their support's do a good job, so...
One of the best tank lines in Harmony doesn't exist outside the top 5, in my opinion. That might be a hot take, but I think Careless Pandas have a decent tank line that's going to get them to the point where they need to be in this current meta rotation, but I don't know about best.
But I'm also a certified Papega, so again, my word shouldn't carry that much weight, especially for Harmony tier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat, so maybe I'm putting big opinions on things I shouldn't. So again, that's why we talk about these. Now we have we have what, 6 players in chat, or 6 players in the comms, and then Smug's blowing up the chat, which I appreciate. Tell me what's up.
Smug Chim. It says you have 15 viewers right now.
Yeah, I guess I do. I keep getting different numbers. But yeah, long run Jetpack Cats will be fine. I think so too. I think Jetpack Cats will recover from this really well. But right now,
I don't.
I'll see what happens. So let's hop up to Discord here, I guess. If that's
Let's start this out by just removing aimbots, because hell, I don't know. I have no idea.
I on my tier list, I gave aimbots a question mark tier. I gave them their own question mark tier.
We're gonna make you guys the Discord.
They're in the works.
You can have that.
Big things are happening. They're in the works. I'm just gonna say that. They're in the works.
Alright. I love this team, but I think we gotta take out Alt F4.
Why don't...
Yeah.
Maybe we should just establish like the top 4,
I agree with
because that's like the easiest thing.
The
ever,
top
right?
4, like we did last time. Alright, we'll commit.
Yeah.
Easy, no contest.
No, I will contest this. I'm still a spec stream. I will die on this hill. I think Meteors are a better team. I genuinely think that. I'm prepared to die on this hill.
Let's see who wins the match today, alright?
No, I don't care who wins. I still think Meteors. I commit, no hate towards you. I think Meteors is better. They were down with their start DPS. I'm not sure if I know. So he's one of the best players on that team, and you're down him. He's an incredible player, and I can't say as a fact that it was a fair game. They were down their star DPS. J-Vice is an absolutely incredible player.
I think current Meteors is not better than Commit.
I think they are.
The reason being, J-Vice right now, like I've talked to J-Vice personally, and like he acknowledges this, I acknowledge this. J-Vice currently is washed because he has he's not performing as well, because he said this himself. He has a lot of outside stuff going on right now. He can only show up to like 1 every 3 matches. Can't really play Overwatch that much, and that's a big hit for the team.
Especially when
their
Courage is
performance is
underperforming.
gonna fall off with that.
Bro, I love J-Vice. Poor guy.
J-Vice
He's a
is
great
dope.
guy,
Lots,
but
lots of support to you.
Yeah. Like,
But I've been on this Meteor's hype train since season 2 playoffs. I thought we were gonna go all the way, and I'm gonna die on this hype train.
every time I
will say-
watch a Meteors game, they're down a DPS player, and I just don't think that's how you conduct a team.
That's pretty
Well, they added
Yeah,
Pyro.
I've said this before. Part of being a good team is you have to be consistent, whether that's like real life problems or not. Like, you got to deal with that, right? Like, you can't just say they're good if all the pieces are there. If the pieces are never there, that's something that needs to be
Exactly.
addressed.
Yeah. No,
That's like an
I agree.
organization.
I think that's a big issue. I might personally, I don't even know if I put Meteors in like top 2. I'm thinking maybe like 3rd for me, but at the same time, like,
that's cold. Oh, that's freezing cold. I think I just teleported to the Arctic. Oh no, that's freezing cold.
A freezing for take.
yeah, but no,
Um,
I'll submit to them being in 2nd just because of potential, quote unquote.
I think I would put One Last Ride 3rd, and then
Yes, see, I agree with that. I love that.
I'm biased.
until the match tonight, honestly, I kind of, at least on my own thing, I kind of did a lineup of both the Meteors and One Last Ride roster side by side, and I think overall, One Last Ride might. I think One Last Ride takes this game 2-1 tonight.
Yeah, I think they
Right.
also beat the Meteors. That's why I want to put them in 2nd
don't.
really bad. We
I
get it,
don't.
Cryptic. We know. We know.
You're gonna be like what, like 7-1, but you have a 4 map differential. Good job.
What's up, Uncommed?
Actually, our map diff goes up because of the buy. We get a free 4-0.
Oh, that's true.
And then we go against Alt F4,
Yeah.
which is another buy, Kappa.
Hey, whoa.
I didn't say, man.
Look! Alt F4 is making moves. We
Yeah,
don't know-
no,
we don't
it's
know-
not gonna be a buy. That's why I added the Kappa.
Yeah, no, I think you guys on One Last Ride are awesome.
I think Instalock maybe top 3. Oh wait, no, wait, never mind. I lost
Instalock
Mark.
is
I
top
forgot.
3. Well,
Yeah, no, I was gonna say that. I forgot
with
I lost
my
Mark.
big Marv gone. Okay.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot.
Honestly, I'll just say this. I think their DPS line is gonna take them like wherever they need to go.
Yeah,
At,
the
don't
DPS
at One
line is
Last
good.
Ride.
Look, maybe
Their
this is a hot
DPS line
take.
is contested for the best, in my
Maybe
opinion.
this is a hot take, but I think you need 6 players to be in the top 3.
Yeah, about to say
Oh,
if we want to talk
no.
DPS line, I'll toot
They'll
my
get
own
one.
horn. My
They'll get
team's
one soon.
DPS line is ridiculous, and we're not top 4.
We'll come back to them when they have 6 players. We don't. It's like a question mark, okay? Like
Just put them with Limbo.
we were at a point where we didn't have 6 players, and I'm just like, take us off the list. I don't know where we go.
Yeah.
One of my big
Yeah.
things about
Like
Instalock.
I said, I made them a
it-
question mark too.
Yeah, I think the thing with Instalock, I think is gonna hold him back for most of the specs, and or if Sacred Walls can carry the support line by himself.
That's kind of a D colon cryptic.
Yeah,
But
no,
I gotta be honest. So since I was on the team, okay, specs, at least with the support line, the support line has proved immensely since the start of the season. Like, I have to say that straight out. Like, Walrus started to pop off literally every single game and started putting up actually some crazy numbers, and his Ana was ridiculous. He literally hit some of the nuttiest sleeps during a match against Tough Luck. It was insane. And then Specs on Lucio has actually been performing really, really well. Like, his beat usage has been insane. I think it's actually like top of the league. His beats are always there. He always has beat when we need it. Like, he has it. He's ready. Like, he's calming when the team needed it. Like, I think people are kind of sleeping on Specs, but I think Specs is actually like maybe be a top 5 main support currently. Like,
Whoa,
legitimately.
Oh, okay.
It's not a joke. And I also think Walrus is probably up there for maybe a top 5 flex support as well.
Oh, I can agree with Walrus.
Once you look at it though, like once you look at all the league's main supports, like
Community.
it's weird. Main supports is a very weird role because not much is really, I don't know, like
Even though
look at
Specs
all their
may,
gameplay, it's hard to like glean a lot of how good the players are.
Support role
Like,
right
it's
now,
hard
if
to
you're
even
watching
make
like
support
Moira
look
Lucio, is just so hard to look at right now. Like it's 2 characters that are the most consistent healers in the game, so it's really hard to like make your mark unless you are like top 500 level, which obviously we're not. So
Yeah, unless you're just like completely Redditing or something and have like insane, impact like visually on the game, you're not really gonna be.
Well, to be
known as,
fair,
"Hey."
at least this is something that's actually like a pretty big statement. At least is that the difference between like a good flex support and a bad flex support is that a Moira can solo carry a game if played well, and then if you have a bad Moira, you can lose that game just based off that position. That's why these support positions shouldn't just be kind of like a throw position. Like in a sense, I see that some people, like for their support positions, they might like try to just put like maybe not a really like not a higher skilled player or something like that. But a lot of times that comes to bite them back because these support positions, at least now, they actually matter way more than a lot of people think.
I don't think matter. I think you're right, but I don't think at least when I said like they can't shine, I think it's mattering is important, but like I don't think you can like do something like Baptiste, Zen. It's so easy to tell. It's more like tactile when someone's just like, boom, they're nailing headshots with Zen. Okay, that player's good. While like with Moira, it's just like having that good usage of like comboing heal and like siphon, so you're getting a lot of resources and you're just constantly able to push out value. It's so hard to watch, especially with the way that we spectate games, which is almost never from like a Moira POV. So you don't know how they're like using their resources accurately. And so like the only way that you can really tell if a Moira is just like on top of the game is that when that first team fight breaks out, the Moira who has ult first is the one that's probably the better Moira, at least it seems currently, because they're the ones pushing out all the resources they're supposed to into their team while also getting enough damage down to get that ult faster. So
it's much easier for a support to lose a game than it is for a support to win a game. But there's still something to be said for like being the support that makes the fewest mistakes. Like I come from Dota, and that's basically a game of who fucks up the least. So
Yep.
fair.
It wins games not messing up.
I will say out loud right now, just keep us on track. I have 8 minutes left until I have practice. So let's get rid of some teams that aren't
time
on
to
top
speed
four.
through it. All right, take off the clips, take off Harmony and Chaos.
Take off who was Harmony?
Take off Harmony and Chaos. Take off Eclipse.
Yep.
Alt
Sorry.
F4, I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Alt F4 sorry off. If you I can't pronounce that name in Invictus.
I think currently actually I would take off Otaku over Infius.
Yeah, I would also
Yeah, I
say
think
that.
Infius has been performing way better.
I was so
Infius's performance, they've been actually way more like at least clean than Otaku.
So now it's just
Get us out there. What are you doing putting me? Get us out of there.
Yeah, get aimbot, put aimbots and insta-lock at the bottom.
What's up, Coder?
Hey.
Well, right now we have the top 8 of Commit, Meteors, One Last Ride, Tough Luck, Renovatio, Prodigious, Sugar Rush, and Instalock in no particular order, aside from the top 3.
Just Instalock doesn't have 6 players. Just take them off.
Yeah, I'd take them off.
Well, then who do we put in? Invictus?
I would put.
Honestly,
I would put
I'd put
Infius. I would put Infius there.
I'm not a fan of Infius. I don't think we're that good.
You know what, Cryptic? I'm not a fan of you. Okay.
Yo, I'm not even a fan of myself.
What's up, Coder?
Let's say this. I think Infius honestly has higher potential.
I love you,
than
Cryptic.
Invictus.
I have
Invictus
played
made
with
big
Smirk,
pickups.
and he is a monster.
Actually, speaking of Invictus's playoffs, they still have a 9-man roster.
Yes,
Okay.
and they
I
lost
think they're
Grizz,
down
but
to
it doesn't
8 now.
matter.
All right, wait,
Are they
here's
down to 8?
I
No.
love Grizz to death, though.
No, because they got back up to 10, and then Grizz went down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Grizz went
yeah,
down,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
Grizz
So
wasn't
they're
getting a lot of
still in
playtime
9-man
anyway.
roster.
I mean, I don't think there's too many problems with legitimately having a 9-man roster now. I think the big problem was them having like 4 tanks. I think
Yes.
that kind of that's kind of a big issue.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to throw shade at Invictus, but that seems like an awful decision.
So
But
is this the rotation that we want of top 8 being Commit, Meteors, One Last Ride, Tough Luck, Renovatio, Prodigious, Sugar Rush, Infius?
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Reno's above Tough Luck right now. Personally.
I agree with that.
So
But I want to.
Haltingly in agreement, I do have to say that Renovatio, I think, has had an easier schedule than Tough Luck.
I agree with that, and I also kind of agree that Reno kind of has the DPS carry in DC. But
yeah, 4K player.
I'll say from playing Renovatio is that like they seemed like not as good as like aimbots were when we played them. It just Renovatio knew how to capitalize on mistakes really good. Yeah, like good aimbots.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, hey, whoa.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
listen, I just joined because I want to say
I think that 5-man Inslop without a 6-player could probably still beat Envious with all the people, so I just wanted
I agree.
That's a hot take.
That's kind of toxic.
Okay,
that is-
it's still
No,
top
it's not because
right?
Envious is bad, it's only partially because of that. It's because Inslop's players are really good.
Okay, but
That's
Albino
true.
and Invictus, I think they're gonna bounce back. I'm gonna say I think Eclipse is gonna bounce back. It's just delayed
No
redemption.
bias there, right? No bias.
Okay, well,
No bias. I'm totally not worried
Like,
about it.
I think 100% like Kuna's the number one hit scan in the league, like no doubt.
Community. Jesus
Yeah, no,
Christ.
I think with this
Community.
team, the change yesterday is probably the best thing that could have happened to them, so you know.
Alright, see, here's
Oh,
the thing.
TR, dude.
Okay, see, here's the thing with Invictus.
God.
Melts, he's
Alright, I
not
can't
a...
wait to roll you week 14, then, buddy.
For sure, for
I'm
sure.
sorry, was I...
That's if you're still on commit by then, you know.
Shit.
Alright, let's
Calm down.
Okay,
Alright,
as I was saying with Invictus, Melts,
Like
he's
a-
not a bad player. I'm not sure how I was gonna do in this meta, especially with Discord tier, but Falcon. I played an open division.
Falcon's insane, bro. Those puns.
Like, trash, I'm
Holy
not done.
shit.
Trash, I'm not done. Like, I have had to go up against Vash's tanks, and I've been confident I've been able to take him. But let me tell you, Falcon scares me crapless. I don't want to play him. I don't. He actually
Okay.
scares me.
So,
Actually,
okay, also Falcon, I know Falcon's watching, and I actually just got out of a conversation with him. Funny enough, we kind of came to a mutual agreement that Falcon's Ryan is scary. His Reinhardt is actually scary.
Too bad Ryan isn't doing this meta.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His Orisa, however, is not as great.
Well, how's his Sigma?
His six better than average. His 6 good. His six good. We kind of compared it, and we were like, Falcon's a really good tank, but he might not exceed as well as in this meta as other metas.
Why
Can I do a little inside baseball on Falcon?
But before you say that, I could probably take him on Ryan. I'm that confident. But go ahead, Juke.
For sure, for sure.
All right,
Falcon is really good mechanically, but it came down to him, and the reason we hesitated on Falcon.
Positioning.
No, it was his comms. He really needs to pick up his comms if he's going to be good in this meta, where comboing poles is so important. I've no doubt that he can pick it up, but right now it's still a question mark. Like you can combo pole into like so many things that
Oh yeah, but
you
Doomfist
need
all...
you need to
Pull,
get that
pull
working.
punch, pull doom all, etc. Many more
Yeah.
things. You know what?
Yeah, you could probably even pull people into Sigma's ult right there as well.
Nice. Alright. So, as you guys saw, posted the tier list, or the not the tier list, the power rankings that we've all discussed, or at least
I think
some
those
of
are
us.
pretty fair and just general rankings.
But again, this is a power ranking. That means absolutely zero. If you're gonna pop off, then go pop off. If you're gonna be pacified pythons and go and beat Vitamin C, go do it.
Don't worry, I'm gonna be bench Andy for
Yeah,
the week, so we'll see.
This is something I
The
will
leave of
always say.
absence gamer.
This is something I will always say if I'm on one of these casts.
Okay.
Like just cause this is our opinion of who the top 8 is, I also think there's a lot of parity. Like pacified pythons could beat Vitamin C. It could happen.
I
you
agree.
know,
Yeah.
You know, like
what, with Twilight Zone?
Eclipse tomorrow could beat
Shh.
they could
Don't,
beat somebody.
say it.
It could happen.
Prodigious. And I
No.
think we will be prodigious.
No, we won't. No, you won't.
Like we may have just got 4-0'd by Ona 4, which
You're gonna get 4-0'd again.
Oh, but
Whoa.
we're still a very confident team.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna come back. I think we're gonna bounce back, and we're gonna run the table. We
Okay.
know how many games we have to win, and we're confident. I think
Cryptic, are you playing Orisa Store now?
I cannot comment on that.
Okay.
Cryptic is ready to 4-0 commit in the grand final.
Dude, I am ready. I am fired up.
Commit, get him, and more like get him out
Do
of
I have
here.
permission to teabag you in our match?
You know what? I kind of hope you do. Just like
Alright,
go
well,
off cavity.
I need a
permission,
written
he didn't
I need a
give
written
permission.
Sorry,
form.
sorry.
I need a written
So-
form of this.
So I know JuCo's got to go soon, and I have to go for the feature match soon. Let's do final thoughts. Cryptic, go real quick.
Okay, what do you want, final thoughts? I think this is a pretty solid power rankings. Redemption arc starts this week for Eclipse. And I think
This
Needles
is
is
not
the best
quick.
team in Discord. There you go. It's quick enough.
There you go,
Jen.
Here come the pythons.
Hey.
Quick enough.
What do you got, Juke?
I'm about to stream, so just follow my stream if you want more.
Nice.
Oh
Here we
wow!
Plugging himself on his own.
Okay.
That was like as smooth as fucking pavement. What the fuck?
I think Harmony tier, there's a ton of parity. I think anybody could beat anybody, honestly. It could happen. Discord, it's a little more separated, but I honestly still think that every match has potential to be close at the very least.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
I'll say
Agreed.
that.
Kairos, kind of, if you're not muted.
No.
He
Martin,
doesn't talk.
All right, Lion,
Yeah.
hit it.
your final thoughts.
Final thoughts, dude. What do you mean?
All right,
Okay,
Marv.
All right, Big Marv. What-
Stop being toxic. This is just a tier list. GR.
It's not a tier list. It's a power rankings. Excuse
It's,
you.
Rest in
it's
peace,
literally the
Specs.
same thing.
It's in the form of a tier list.
Coder.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't paying attention, but it's a good tier list.
Worth.
Honesty's the best policy, I guess.
Okay. Gotta say, I think after if Inslot can find a good new member, they're top 5 easily.
Nice.
Probably 4 CM.
I can't.
Yeah. Sure.
Probably 4 CM Red Audio.
No, I
Okay.
agree. Yeah.
I got a bug bite on my finger.
Yeah.
I think I called him out a little bit, even though Falcon, I still think you're very good. Probably.
Wait, well, I just got back. What happened? What happened?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Go on, Simone.
I said we hesitated on you because I felt like the other main tanks had better comms, but you were better mechanically by far.
A worm.
Yeah, I've already told Falcon what he needs to improve on. Isn't that right, Falcon?
That was really weird.
Yeah, that's
Marv.
right,
Never say
buddy.
something like that again, please.
Okay. Thanks, man.
I'm gonna peace out. Good talking with you guys. I'm gonna do this as often as
Yeah.
possible.
Also,
Agreed.
Spax is a feeder.
Later.
All right, Cryptic, you're the worst main tank in the